be opposed by the United States. It is my hope that the passage of this bill will send the signal that these brutal atrocities and the cowards that perpetuate them will be hunted down and punished with all means possible. I thank my good friend and ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Eliot Engel, for his role as the lead Democrat co-sponsor of this bipartisan legislation. And again, I'd like to thank Chairman Royce for bringing this to the floor. And lastly, I'd like to thank the committee staff for their thoughtful contributions and assistance. And I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlelady yields. As the gentleman for California Reserve. The gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman for California is recognized.
No further speakers on our side.
The gentleman
Mr.
reserves.
Speaker, I'll continue reserve.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You keep wanting to make me from California, and
I don't know.
That's fine, especially with these winters. But I'm proud to be from Pennsylvania, Mr. Speaker. I will yield myself as much time as I may consume for the purpose of closing. I want to thank again Congresswoman Fox, as well as Ranking Member Engel, for their legislation, as well as the other legislators who worked on it. This bill will help ensure that the War Crimes Rewards Program can be used to the greatest possible effect, bringing the perpetrators of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide to justice. It will give the State Department clear authority to use rewards for perpetrators who are brought to justice under international tribunals in domestic courts. America must stand against human rights abusers and war criminals abroad, and this bill helps advance that goal. I urge my colleagues to support the bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Pennsylvania yields. I recognize the gentleman from California.
Will I yield myself such time as I may consume?
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, when we consider the human cost in terms of those who commit war crimes or crimes against humanity, and I am reflecting on some of the victims of Charles Taylor's activities in Liberia and in Sierra Leone. We saw young children who had had limbs amputated at the hands of the Revolutionary United Front, supported by Charles Taylor. We have met with children whose parents have been murdered by the perpetrators of violence who believed that they were beyond justice. And the concept behind having the Department of State Rewards program serves such an important purpose when we consider that it has helped bring to the bar of justice around this planet those who have been involved in war crimes. It has turned the table on dangerous foreign terrorists and criminals, and this bill of Virginia Fox's and Eliot Engel's continues to expand that very effort to help ensure that they face justice, but just as importantly to send that message that others in the future who contemplate behaving like a Charles Taylor or committing this kind of mayhem will also face the bar of justice, and encouraging those who are working with them to turn them over in order to get that reward and leave them in a state of perpetual anxiety where they know that at any time anyone in their organization could turn them over to international justice. So this bill helps advance that effort. So again, I thank the gentlelady from North Carolina, Virginia Fox, and my good friend from New York as well, Mr. Eliot Engel, for sponsoring this bill to make clear that this important authority includes justice, meted out by U.S. courts under U.S. law. This makes it clear that the international provisions that we seek to expand include the actions taken here in the United States, and I congratulate them for bringing this bill forward, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 3851 as amended? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative,
I object to the vote on the ground that a quorum is not present, Mr. Speaker, and I make a point of order that a quorum is not present.
pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, further proceedings on this motion will be postponed.